Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video, we will discuss a priority question. We'll start with the question. A nurse working in a neurology clinic receives the following telephone messages. Which client should the nurse call back first? Okay, a nurse, she is working in a neurology clinic and she has received around 4 calls for the past 1 hour or for the past time. Out of these 4 calls, which is the call or which condition with which patient require a priority intervention or the nurse suddenly or directly to call back? That is the question. So these 4 options, one is very severe situation and that require an immediate intervention and management. So that is the question asking to us. We'll see the options. Option 1, client prescribed with the sumatriptan who has thrombin left temple pain preceded by an aura. Option 2, client taking carbidopa levodopa who has a dizziness when rising from a sitting or lying position. Option 3, client with the myasthenia gravis who has a fever and increasing difficulty swallowing. Option 4, client with the trigeminal neuralgia who reports burning cheek pain after eating ice cream. I think the one option we can directly eliminate, that is the option 4, because we know that trigeminal neuralgia, the client will get severe pain if they if any touch or if the exposure to cold items or hot food items. So, and if they are swallowing or chewing, that time there is a chance of severe pain, especially on the cheek. So that is an expected finding. And the client who already diagnosed with, here they said that the client with the trigeminal neuralgia, which means the client is already diagnosed with the trigeminal neuralgia. So this burning cheek pain is the common expected sign and symptom of trigeminal neuralgia, and this was this is usually exacerbated by cold or hot food items or chewing and swallowing. So what is the intervention need in this step means maybe the client need another medicine or require a dose change in the medicine. So that is not something very serious. So that one you can easily eliminate in the first look itself. So now we have eliminated option 4. So we have 3 more options. Out of the 3 more options, which will be the more serious situation that the nurse should call back first? We'll see the option 1. Client prescribed sumatriptan who has thrombing left temple pain preceded by an aura. So what do you know about this sumatriptan? It is a medication treating for migraine headaches. And some of the side effects of this medication is like client have a severe pulsatile throbbing pain, and sometimes it's with aura or sometimes it's without aura. Here you can see sumatriptan as prescribed for moderate to severe migraine headaches that are characterized by, what is the characteristic features of these headaches? There is a very severe throbbing headaches, sometimes it's with or without aura, and the client have vomiting, photophobia, nausea. So these are the common features, clinical manifestation or signs and symptoms of severe to moderate or moderate to severe migraine headaches. So that is also an expected finding. The thing that the client need in this situation, the client should come back to the clinic and he should review the medication. He might need an extra dose or another medication. There will be a change in the treatment regimen. So that is the intervention which require in the option first. So I think that one also we can just keep it one side. We will see is anything else more severe. So what is the next option? Client taking carbidopa levodopa who has a dizziness when rising from a sitting or lying position. What is that? This carbidopa levodopa is a combination of medication prescribed for Parkinson's disease. What are some of the signs of Parkinson's disease? Tremor, rigidity, bradykinesia, postural instability. So when the client has such symptoms, for the effectiveness of treatment, the doctor will be prescribed with a carbidopa-levodopa combination. But one of the main side effects of this medication is that orthostatic hypotension. So upon initiation of this therapy, the nurse and the doctor will instruct the client that you might feel hypotensive, so you should have take care whenever you are in the home or in the hospital. While you are changing position, change slowly, and while you are start working, please sit on the side of the bed for some time and take a control, then move forward. So these are some of the safety instruction that a nurse or the doctor will provide to the client upon initiation of carbidopa or levodopa for the treatment of Parkinson's disease. So that is also an expected finding, that the nurse, when the nurse will listen this one, the nurse notes, okay, this is your problem, that is an orthostatic hypotension, you should have take care. And if she needs something or the patient needs something else, the patient have to come to the clinic and they will do the checkup again, how the BP, whether it is very seriously low. So these are some of the expected findings. So now we have eliminated option 1, 2 and 4. So what will be our answer? Definitely our answer would be option 3. We'll see why we take option 3 as the priority option, or why we choose to call this patient at first. Here they said client with the myasthenia gravis who has a fever and increasing difficulty swallowing. So what is the idea in your mind about myasthenia gravis? It is an autoimmune disorder. In the previous videos also I mentioned that autoimmune disorder means our own antibodies are attacking our immunity and we have all the issues. So that is the simple meaning that you can keep in your mind, autoimmune disorder. So in myasthenia gravis, where it is affecting, where these antibodies, autoantibodies are affecting, it is affecting or it is working against the acetylcholine receptors, which is required for our normal neuronal functions. We know that the neurons and how the acetylcholine helping to pass informations, everything. So when this autoantibodies, this will act against the acetylcholine receptors, that will increase the acetylcholine, that will decrease, or the availability or the fewer receptors are available for acetylcholine to bind. So what will happen? There will not be a proper connection. And this one is usually treated with pyridostigmine. Pyridostigmine is the treatment for myasthenia gravis, which increases the amount of acetylcholine at the synaptic junction, augmenting the neuromuscular signals and improving the muscle strength. So that is the mechanism of this pyridostigmine and how this myasthenia gravis is happening to the client. So here what we have to keep in our mind, when a client is diagnosed with the myasthenia gravis, or a client who is taking medication for myasthenia gravis, what is the main problem? There will be a fluctuating muscle weakness, up and down. So what will? Sometimes if there is an infection, maybe because of stress or maybe under medication, there will be a myasthenia crisis or exacerbation of the myasthenia gravis, which is a life-threatening condition. So how we can identify whether the client is going through myasthenia crisis or the myasthenia gravis is exacerbating? See, in the option it says that the client with the myasthenia gravis who has fever and increasing difficulty swallowing. So that is an indication of myasthenia crisis. When we see this symptom, or when the client inform this symptom over the phone, the nurse should suspect, okay, this might be an indication of myasthenia crisis. I should call back this client at first and I should start the immediate management, inform the healthcare provider and interventions. You need to take the interventions. How the myasthenia crisis, that is characterized by oropharyngeal and respiratory muscle weakness and respiratory failures. That's why we said it is a life-threatening complication. So the client's infection and increasing difficulty swallowing indicates what? Immediate intervention. Client require an immediate intervention. So that's why we choose option 3 as the priority one. See, when we'll get a question of priority, most of the time all of the options are correct, or all of the options require interventions, but comparing to each other, one require an immediate intervention, because that might be a very life-threatening symptom, or that might be an indicative finding of a life-threatening complication. to avoid those type of complications or the more consequences, we have to start immediate assessment and management. So our answer is option 3. Hope it's clear to you. In the next video, we'll come with another question. So if you have any doubt, you need any more clarification, please mention in the comment box. We'll do our level best. So bye for now and do well for your exam.